ऐसे करके.
So, gentlemen, welcome to this edition of the Dugout with this very thorny topic that has gotten me into arguments ever since the morning.
Already thorny.
Yeah. Lot of our family members have been saying that please do this topic, and that is exactly what we have preempted and done.
But I'm just going to digress here a little bit. So one of the family members, he messaged me on Instagram asking that when is the quiz going to come out?
Quiz can come later, okay? Much later.
Okay.
He's anyway said, you weren't here that day, that I'm winning hands down. People can try, they can come close.
No, see, I'm getting the trimmer. I'm getting the trimmer to ensure.
But Sidvi, I always take your side in this. But last weekend, I was ready to produce it. I was ready with the questions, but you were the one who said that no, we'll do it on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Did we have the time last
weekend?
No,
on
weekends I've told him not to do dugouts.
Yeah, weekend.
So he has enough time.
I was ready. I am prepared with the questions that we can even do it today.
We will go back to weekend dugouts once the series starts.
Yeah. That we will do tomorrow then. Fine.
No, but then I'm.
If only you are not scared, na?
Pawan, you are
scared. Nahin, he was saying that day there is no competition. He said somebody said no. Gulati also does well. He says yeah, he's decent. At least he's better than a lot of others. But there's no competition.
You were saying being second to him only is a very big
thing.
Tomorrow I'll prove it who is decent and who is number one. Tomorrow I'll prove it.
No, but tomorrow
he's not there. He's not
there.
So do it when he's there. He's so excited to produce.
So
I was ready to do it last weekend also. Both of them said no, Friday, Wednesday.
Because there was work here.
No, on last weekend what was that? Last weekend.
There must be something. I think Vinesh Fogart came.
Oh yes.
That too came
last.
No, that was last.
The detailed report. I'm saying the detailed.
That came at night.
No, that also came last to last.
That also came. Whenever it came at night.
Okay. No, that came I think 20th, 19th or 20th.
So as usual, you talk and you digress as always. Okay. Because just going to tell the topic which has gotten everybody in confrontation.
No, I'm not going to digress now.
Okay. Which cricket record of Sachin Tendulkar will be broken, and who can do it?
So this is a topic suggested by our subscribers. They have been
by our family members,
they have been bombarding you.
Yeah.
Like, talk about this.
Talk about this.
But how is it that we decided this some 5-6 days ago? You remember?
Yes, we did. That's
so
what
they had bombarded you before that only.
No, they have been doing it for the past 4 to 5 days. And that's
we had just to let you know that we had decided this. But when I suggested this, I was vetoed by them saying, what is the point? There is nothing. I said, then what else will we do?
No, you self-vetoed.
Yeah, we were about to do it there.
Later, yeah.
First, when I first gave the suggestion, I was being vetoed, saying it's nothing. Then when I convinced you guys, then later I vetoed because news came.
Yes.
Then I was like, now you have to be flexible. News has come, then you have to go with it.
Yeah, so after that, when Joe Root has finally hit yet another 100 at Lords against Sri Lanka.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. First and foremost, before you say anything, please have you apologize for them that we have started late today by an hour.
Yes.
All because of Siddharth, who was busy doing some work. Please apologize.
For a different department.
Okay, I apologize, but what work was I doing?
I don't know. They told me that we are going to start late today because Siddharth is busy.
Well, Paralympics took over precedence.
No, I watched you scrolling through reels and shorts.
That, are you mistaking with someone else?
No. I'm talking about you specifically.
I don't believe that.
Reels and shorts,
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
It looks like the producers here are actually favoring him a lot.
You telling me he doesn't watch reels and shorts?
No,
he does.
I've never seen him.
I have seen him.
And you think, and Gulati
I've seen him being on YouTube watching highlights and some films
also.
Some film scenes also he keeps watching.
I'll tell you what.
Film scenes
it changes throughout. He sits right next, right like behind me, so I can like listen to whatever he's seeing. So I'll tell you, it changes throughout the day. When the day starts, it is usually highlights and everything. As the day progresses, it sort of gets to that entertainment zone also. As his shift is ending and it's about time to go home, then he starts Tarak Mehta and then he watches. Then I can believe that at 8 o'clock when he's ready to go, that's the time when he can see reels, but not apart from that. And now Gulati sir feels that all the producers in sports today,
Gulati victim as always.
They are partial towards.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Sidvi sir.
This kind of mentality is going to get you nowhere, okay, Gulati?
We'll see you tomorrow.
Apologize for being late. Sorry.
Apologies that we are late by 30 minutes.
1 hour.
1 hour.
6:30.
No, 6:15.
We were going to go live at 6:15. Then you said 6:30.
7:50.
You said 6:30. Then you.
And then I conveniently turned turtle. Okay.
So that apology out of the way. We are looking at what are the records by Sachin Tendulkar.
Which
That Joe Root. Let's keep it more specific. That Joe Root can.
that Joe Root can break.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Or maybe the big four can break, if there is a big four, if we have to say. You can take Kohli.
I'm only
Williamson
looking at
also.
Joe Root because
Yeah,
he's in the news, he's there. But sure enough, you guys can go with
And he's in form.
whatever you want to go. Okay, so who's going to go first, and which is the record you're going to pick?
Sir?
Yeah, so I will say that if Joe Root maintains the form that he's been having ever since COVID,
Yeah.
I think he will break Sachin's mark of 15,921 test runs. Because he is about 620 runs away.
3,790 runs to be specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he had 1,710 runs in 2021, that 22 period. Remember, he is due for a course correction in 25-26 in Australia. Because if he does well there, plus he's going to play in flat decks in Pakistan, expect more runs there. Expect runs in New Zealand also. He's done okay there also. Rest of the summer, you look at England play in the next 2-3 years. They play at least 19 tests a year. 19 into 3, 58 more tests, 57 more tests. 3,600 runs if he maintains the form.
That's if he plays for next 3 more years.
3 more years. Age is also on the side. He's 34.
33.
33.
He'll turn 34 this year.
Yeah, so
End of the
34. 36, 37 with and he's playing only one format, by the way. I say that he is favourites to go past 15,921 looking at the form that he's.
Okay, we are first looking at this, and Siddharth has presented an argument, but a lot of it is also conjecture because he's saying he's due for course correction, so on and so forth. But that's his opinion. He's looking into the crystal ball. That is his thing. Yes, Shashwat, do you have anything on this record? What do you reckon?
Go further, Pawan.
No, maybe he wants.
See, if
In this record, you think he's going past?
No.
Is Root going to finish as the highest run getter in?
no, I don't feel so, and I don't think that any.
And this is not the.
This is a test.
This is the tons that we've
It's
seen.
got
around.
tons and runs. Both.
Yeah, but we have a different one for
Runs.
Just have one for runs.
Yeah.
Let's see just the one for runs.
Just go for runs.
Most test runs.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so in this, you are saying in this particular record, Siddharth feels that Joe Root is going up.
Yes.
Okay, what does?
Yeah, I feel he's definitely going up, but he's definitely not. He's not for sure breaking Sachin's record.
Okay.
Because
Why?
I feel like at this point, I think he's hitting his peak right now. He's in the news and everything. I still remember there was a phase, I think 4 to 5 years back, when he was not scoring runs. There were questions on him, even if he should be in the Fab Four or not. And Virat was sort of getting a lot of runs at that point. So I just feel it's that phase. It's a really close race between the 4 of them. For sure, but breaking Sachin's record, you need to have that consistency all throughout. I feel this 33, 34 sort of the age is the time when many batters all throughout the world sort of touch their peak and then their dip starts. So that is why I feel that this is the best he can get. Still 3,000 plus runs to get there. You need to have that consistency, which I'm not very sure about if he will be able to maintain the same hike that he's having at this point.
Same as what Siddharth Vishwanathan and Bhalla has said, but my point here is that it's not really a big 4 race, to be very honest, because I think Joe Root is the only one who is a part of this race.
That's why I asked only about Joe Root.
See the point with Joe Root.
Are we talking about just test, then?
Yeah.
Okay, obviously, only.
No, by Fab Four, I was meaning that all 4. I was taking.
No, just test.
See, currently, obviously, he's 33. He's scoring almost 1,000 runs a year or so, in the calendar year. I think the only thing that can probably stop him is that because England play a lot of test cricket every year. I think it's about 12 to 14 odd tests. And overall, England have been the team who have played the most number of tests in the previous couple of WTC cycles also. So I think, and in case of England cricket also, there have been very, very few cases wherein a test cricketer has progressed his career beyond the age of 34 or 35. If we, just go back, even Alistair Cook also, he retired at the age of 32 or 33, if I'm not wrong. Same, and Moeen Ali is the only cricketer that comes to my mind who is actually at the age of 35, 36 and has even played test cricket for England. So if we just go by that, if there is no mental fatigue and if Joe Root feels that he can actually sustain himself, his mind and his body for another 3 or 4 years, knowing that England obviously are going to play around 50-55 odd matches in those next 3 or 4 years, I think he has a very good chance of surpassing Tendulkar's record of 15,921 test runs.
But the only reason I don't agree with that is that I feel that 33, 34, 35, 34, 35 to be very specific, these are the years even when Virat and for that matter Sachin, both of them sort of hit their peak. That was one of the best years for them also. So I feel that's the same phase for Joe Root to continue that. I think because right now after this you'll see changes in his body. You'll post 30 and all of these things. A hand-eye coordination. Will he be able to maintain that? I don't think so, because it's Test cricket. I am looking at it as Test cricket more, because in T20 again you can have that good. It's sort of a marathon. To reach there, it's a marathon. You have to be at the same pace. That I don't think is the case with Joe Root. That's why I feel
Joe Root has become more of a compact batter now. Siddharth specifically mentioned about how he improved his batting during the COVID time. That in itself became a story. See, before COVID, he made his debut way back in 2012-2013 season.
Nagpur.
From that time until 2020, he scored 17 test centuries. And at that time also he was going very well. The only problem was that he was getting found out by one specific delivery which was coming into him or angling into him basically. He worked on his batting with one of the team coaches, and since 2020, in the last 3.5 to 4 years, he in itself has scored 16 centuries.
Yeah.
So
he also has a very good conversion rate.
Yeah, he had a good conversion rate in the last.
Now
4
recently,
years.
And
he has
what
a very
an
good
irony! What an irony! He was the great non-converter among the Fab Four.
Yeah.
Now he's made up time
He
in a
still
big
doesn't have a century in Australia. He has around 1050s.
But I'll again tell you, conditions. In England, the conditions are flattened out. Australia, you'll encounter flat conditions. Your main test in 25-26 will be if Root can finally break that Ashes duck that he's got in Australia.
Okay, what I'm going to do is, since there are many arguments to be presented, what I'll do is, if we can have the notepad, Pawan, what I'll do is, see, our analysis is going to be based on our understanding of factors, understanding of conditions, understanding of longevity, various other things, which is needed. We need the human element. We are not going with AI, right? We believe in human element. We believe in the fact that each of us look at sport differently, which is natural. All of us look at sport differently, and we'll have our own assessment. And I think that's the crux of this debate, where we'll try and get to what we think will be right. But I think to just give it a basic idea of numbers, because it is a sport of numbers and we are actually discussing stats in terms of whether a stat remains or is it broken or not. So you have to do the basic thing of extrapolation, or which is called in data crunching forecasting. You forecast based on trends, you look at certain trends, and based on those trends, without getting your personal opinion into it, forecast something. So forecasting happens based on primarily just pure numbers. After which we'll try and get the human element, that is our own judgment, our own sensibilities, into the discussion. Maybe you can point out. So what I will do is, I'll try and write the data that you have, because I did some number crunching on that. So if you look at where he can, I just want to give you an idea. This is last 3 years. Okay, for Root. And why am I taking 3 years? For the simple reason that there was COVID before that.
Yes.
And so if I take 5, you will have 2-year period where you will not have too much cricket. So may not give you an exact representation. So I'm only going to look at last 3 years. This is what Root did in those last 3 years. He played 38 test matches. He got 13.
Okay, 100.
Okay, this is, I'm looking at 1st Jan 2021 and I'm looking till 1st Jan 2024. Right, so that's exactly a period of 3 years. And runs he got is 3593. Now, I'm not bringing the human element into this. I'm just giving you data. This is what Root has done, right? This is Joe Root in the last 3 years. Now, I'm only going to extrapolate this data. So, this data gives me an average. Okay, it's giving me an average if I want to take it per year, right? So, per year average for me, for Root, and this is not only the average in terms of his runs, but how many tests? So, because this is very important.
Correct.
Tests, he's playing 12.5 per year.
Yep.
Hundreds,
He's scoring at 4, almost.
he's
4.
getting 4.3.
3.
Okay, and runs, this is also
About
very
1100
important.
plus.
He is getting
1,009.
119.
Almost
119,
1200.
yeah.
Okay, so almost about
1,200,
1200 runs he's getting per year. So
Per year.
why this is important? This will give us an arc to tell us
Yes.
where he can go. So right now he's 33 years of age,
Yeah.
and he'll turn 34 at the end of this year. So let's say 36 if he gets there. So I'm saying Root at 36
Yeah.
years, right? We are assuming that he goes on till 36, which is a conservative estimate. I mean, there's a good chance he bats till or plays till 38, because I don't think everyone can be playing till 40 as Sachin Tendulkar did. So if I'm just looking at 36, 37, which is a safe bet to have, then this is what he's going to end up with. Runs, he's getting
Close to 3,600.
15720.
Oh.
That is about 200 runs short of
Then
Sachin
200,
Tendulkar.
yeah.
So I'm just giving you the calculation. This is effectively 12131 plus 3593.
Yes.
Right. So he is at 15,720 if he plays till about 36 and a half. And
Why 12131?
The current
The
number
current.
of test runs that he has.
That is 12 to 7.
Yeah, because it's now added.
Yeah,
so now I
exactly.
cannot keep changing
Yeah,
everything.
that's
So this is
okay.
a rough idea that I'm giving you.
Okay.
So if you add another 100, maybe it goes to, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is an idea which is telling you that there is a
Realistic chance.
not realistic, more than realistic
more than
chance.
realistic.
There is a very good chance, but assuming there will be issues which I'll get to. There is more than a good chance that in terms of total runs, he is going past the other record, which is the most important, 51 test runs, right?
Yeah, 51 test
Which
runs.
is what Sachin has.
Yeah.
So in Root's case,
46.
he ends up at 46
Yeah.
if he plays till that time, that is 33
Plus 13.
plus 13. But remember, the asterisk here is if he continues the form of the last 3 years,
years.
of course there will be debate. But right now I can only take the sample size that I have, till now. So the other thing is 200 test matches,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So can he get close to that? 3 years if he plays, he gets to 182.
182, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Till 3 years if I've added, which is
Till
25, 6, 27, right?
Yeah.
So that's till 2027, he should get there, mid or end.
Yeah.
Or if he plays for 4 years, then he goes to 195. This is till
2028.
2028. So what I think at the moment seems like that breaking the
Runs record.
the runs record seems to be the most likely scenario. That and I think right now you'd have to believe that Root should break it if he continues the form that he has shown so far. Hundreds, he's 5 short, and 5 is a lot of number. But what happens is, if you look at that, he's getting at an average 4.3 hundreds per year. So if Root decides not to retire at 36 but goes to 37, 38, which is not really too much to ask for.
Yep.
It's still in the realistic thing. I think anything over 38 can be a push.
Yes.
I think it'll be very tough. But I think 37, 38, also considering that Root is not a T20 player,
Not an
regularly
ODI player,
playing, not
although in the
ODI.
fray.
Yeah, so he can push that till 37. If he goes on till another year, then he is also closing in on that 51 Test tons that nobody has broken. So he will get there. He'll either finish 50, 51. That is if he goes till 38. If he decides to finish by 37, 36, 37, then he falls well short. Unless he has an outstanding stretch of 3 years, even better than the already outstanding stretch of 3 years that he's had. But again, that whatever we say on that will still be a guess. Will still be conjecture. Will still be our opinion. But what this is not opinion, it's just extrapolating his numbers from the last 3 years to here. In terms of tests, I think that's going to be the toughest record for anyone to break, to play 200 test matches. I think that's the record. Even if he pushes himself till 38, he's not, and he may still have injuries in those 3 year periods, which he hasn't. So if you ask me now, after I put this data and I just look at this data, I'd say runs, I'm going a good 80 to 90% chance that Root breaks the runs record. If you ask me hundreds, I'm going it's a 50-50 contest. Anyone can be the winner. It's a close fight. If you go tests, I'm going there is a 80% chance he does not break that record. So there are two extremes. You could say 75. So 75 on top and there's a 50 in the middle based on pure numbers. Now you can agree, disagree based on now your assessment on what happens to his age, his reflexes, conditions, various other things. Now I'd love to know your thoughts about those 3 records.
Okay.
Well, I just want something I was confused about. How many tests have we taken per year? Is he going to play from here on an average?
12 and a half.
Okay.
13 tests. So in that sense, it is going to be a look now. Joe Root, if you look at it at this
and sorry, that's not a number that we have taken. We've looked at his last 3 years.
So assuming 2021 1708 runs was his peak. Okay, he is not getting those numbers again. Somewhere in the vicinity of 900 or 1200 runs. Okay, even if he gets that, there is a strong chance that he will do it consistently for 3 reasons. Flatter conditions everywhere. Australia.
So what are you saying? Is he doing it or not? Because you've given both arguments.
He's doing.
You said that peak will be tough for him to get, but you're also saying the conditions are
because he doesn't have that many runs to play with. 3,600 is a realistic number that he can get over 3 to 4 years. Okay, he's already gotten 2 consecutive 1,000 plus run years. Okay. Now he's closing in on even that and he still has a staggering 7 more tests left in 2024. 3 in Pakistan, which is going to get him a lot of runs.
And 3 in New Zealand.
3 in New Zealand. But he's got a good record in New Zealand. Okay. And that too, if you play a pink ball test or all those kind of things, it might reduce a bit. The only way I see is the India series of 2025 where his chances might be dented for one simple reason.
the pitches.
No. Jasprit Bumrah. Against
That is if Jasprit Bumrah is playing test cricket.
Which he will. Well, let's assume he is.
We cannot assume that. I think he is going to be very careful about the matches that he picks. I don't know. I would want him.
Let's see if he plays those 2 marquee series, okay?
Okay.
Against every other bowling attack that is there, every other bowling attack, pacer in particular, Root averages 100 plus. Against a Bumrah, these last 3 years, he averages 14. Just 14 against Jasprit Bumrah alone. So those 5 tests, if Root doesn't get going against India in every series,
if he does not play those stupid shots that he played when he's in good form, he should get runs.
He should.
This is exactly what he did last time around. They lost a test match because of that.
Rajkot, that horrendous shot that he played. But then, now you look at it, ever since that Rajkot innings,
he changed. Exactly.
So, he's now look at the previous match that happened at Old Trafford. No reverse sweeps, no sweeps. He played gritty. He said, I had to bring out the Nasir Hussain in me to have that grit and everything. So that is why if Root can maintain that, I think, boss, it's a realistic chance.
So runs he's beating according to
He's definitely beating.
Hundreds.
He's not breaking that.
He's not breaking that. It's a 50-50 call.
But I am in the no section.
No section.
Yeah.
Okay. For the same reasons that you just presented.
Yes.
Tests, 200 tests, no chance.
No.
That is
the one who I believed was the closest, I believed he had played the Ashes of 25 was Jimmy. But Jimmy retired with 187. So
200 test match, I agree. Even though in Root's case, he's just a batter, not a fast bowler. So can.
Although he's bowling more in the baseball era though.
Yeah, but off spinners can
He's
play.
obviously going to bowl more in the Asian conditions.
He will.
Yeah,
he will.
he will.
So that is why, and because England, I'm tempted to say maybe he could match Tendulkar's 200 tests for one simple reason. They play a lot more fighters series.
So you want to do a vote in all three records? We can have that as well. So you voted no, yes for runs.
No for hundreds. Matches, yes.
Okay.
He's breaking 200 tests.
Yes.
So you're going in for 2.
Yeah, in for
Runs
2
in
For
matches.
him to breach 200 test
Then the
matches,
hundreds also
he'll have to play till 39, 40 years of age.
38, I mean, see 38.
No, till 38 I counted. That this time, which is going to be August, if I'm just going, he'd be at 38, he'd be at 195.
195. Maybe he could push himself.
See,
Because
Good.
there are
So he
two-
goes till 39.
yeah, he could.
in that entire cycle, if you look at it, there are 2 Ashes tests also, series. One in Australia and one when they come here.
Okay, fine. So you voted 2. Yes, Shashwat.
No. I personally.
No, you don't want to answer.
No. I'm answering. I'm answering. I was just about to say that. Firstly, I feel that we are talking about an English player.
Yeah.
Who very unlikely that I don't see him going to play till 38 or 39. I don't feel there is any chance for that. Firstly.
We just had Jimmy Anderson, a fast bowler.
Jimmy Anderson, fast bowler again.
But
man,
he's also English.
Yeah, but again, Joe Root, I don't feel that he's going.
No, but I'm just talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Listen. It's like that's like me saying. See, if you give an argument, it has to be based on. You cannot say that English players don't do it. So if you give an example that English players are, but I don't think he will do. But then that's your personal opinion.
But one
you have to back
exception
it.
There was a Graham Gooch, there's a Jeff Boycott who played
But
much.
then there's Alistair Cook also, who
But
sort
there's
of.
a rarity, na? That's what. See,
But
that's what
by the
I
way,
also mentioned.
Alistair Cook was a bit of a surprise. He
Yeah.
just retired pretty. I thought that he had it in him to
Continued to
play.
play after that for a very long time, but not international cricket.
But that was a bit surprising. That's a
Yeah.
personal decision. While I agree with you on the larger point that I know, and it's a fact, people may like it or not, that sometimes it's our subcontinental players that find it very hard to leave.
Exactly.
We've seen players in the West decide much quicker. I agree. But that's not to say that there haven't been English players that have played.
No, what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that he would be running after those numbers. What I personally feel. Yeah,
that may be
because I
different.
feel that is not the mentality the English side has. I just sort of broke down the numbers. We took the numbers of the last 3 years. I sort of wanted to see what was every year individually also.
No, you cannot. No, because there are 2 years where there's nothing that's happened.
Yeah.
If you take that, then that situation will never arrive again.
Because
You cannot
not
have
those
2
many
years of
numbers, yeah.
corona. People might say that never say never. We have another pandemic, then maybe all of this changes. But for the sake of the argument, we got to assume that we will never have years like
bio bubbles,
20 and 21.
Yeah.
So that changed the game completely.
Totally.
That is the reason that I took a 3-year period to look at. Otherwise, you could have looked at a longer thing.
Longer
You can't.
thing, yeah.
You can't do that.
I still feel that by this logic also, we have taken all these numbers on the basis that if he has the same sort of form,
Correct.
moving ahead also.
No, that is an asterisk I gave at the start.
Then also, it's sort of touch
See,
and go.
but this goes both ways. He could have better.
Yeah, he could have.
Or he could have worse.
Yeah, definitely. But there are 2 reasons I'm giving. First is that the age factor. I don't see him.
So you are giving for runs.
Yeah.
That is not getting.
I'm saying none of the records are to be broken.
Okay. And your argument
I'm not
is?
voting in for anyone. My argument, firstly, I don't see him go that long. I don't see him playing till 37. I don't even see him play till 37. Secondly, I feel what numbers suggest at least is that he is sort of he's having his best time of his career till now. We are expecting him to maintain that best form of his career for the next 3 years also, when he would be starting to age also. That is also to be remembered. And after all of that also, when
But
we've taken all these numbers, it's touch and go. Then also.
Yes, but all I'm saying is that touch and go can go either way.
Yeah,
Whatever
it can
we
go.
say, be assumption. Secondly, see, if I had just taken 1 year, right, then you can say that, you can't take the best year and the last year. It's a 3-year period. In fact, I've taken in from 2021. He has been in great form, but it's over a period of 3 years. So if you've shown consistency for 3 years, it is telling you about the class of a player.
Exactly.
But you're right. I mean, nobody can predict the future.
See, in 2022, he played 15 test matches. There he had an average of 45 approximately.
500s.
Next year, 23, he just played 8 test matches. There he had an average of 65. This year till now, he has played 10 test matches and he has an average of 57. So that's why I'm saying that he's at his peak. Even Sachin and Virat at the same age were on their peak. But after that, suddenly things do sort of start to dip, and that I have seen. And again, why I don't feel there is any chance, because again, there are three things that need to go in favor of him for this to happen. Age, he needs to play till 37, 38. Still, I feel that maybe cannot be counted because that's up to him. Secondly, he needs to have the same form. And then also it's touch and go. Then also he needs to have...
But the form can get better.
You know, root
But
is...
again, it's the age factor also, na?
No, you're having an antithesis. You can't apply what was the peak for Kohli and Sachin.
No, I'm just giving
Root is the antithesis of the Fab Four. Because in the entire Fab Four debate, he was the laggard.
No, what he's trying to say is that there can never be a rule in terms of years and peaking.
Exactly.
There will be players who peaked at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever, and finished.
For example, Kohli's peak was from 13 to 19. I think he will struggle to regain that peak barring one season. In the case of Smith, he reached his peak, but now his decline is beginning. Williamson's peak also came until 21, but now ever since the elbow injuries have come, he's a shadow of his former self, and he's not playing many matches also. So that's a huge problem. Root is playing more, getting better, and conditions have eased out. If it was swinging conditions, I doubt Root would have won. If it was those old Aussie pitches, he would have not gotten 15,900. But everything is now flattened out. That is the thing.
No, I don't find it.
No, these are opinions, so he doesn't have to agree with you.
That's it.
So,
what is not opinion is that. That's factual. But we now have to come up with our opinion.
He's breaking the number of runs record, not breaking the hundreds.
Can we see the slide also, please?
And breaking the runs record, not breaking the hundreds, and not breaking the number of test matches. And I think why I feel it will be he'll be able to continue his magnificent form that's obviously been there in the last 3.5 to 4 years now. See, first of all, he's obviously out of contention of the T20I side now. At max, I feel England are going to try him for the 2025 Champions Trophy. That's the max that's going to happen in the ODI format. If he does well there, they might just want to have him in the mix of things for that ODI World Cup, which is going to take place in South Africa. But if that not really happens, then until say maybe next year, and say from 2025 until 27 or 28, he will basically be he'll basically have the freedom, and at the very same time he'll have the fitness and the form also to continue in test cricket just the way someone like a James Anderson did. So just from that perspective, and how his form has been, obviously, and you also mentioned the example of Virat Kohli, how his peak was there for about 6 to 7 years or so. I think Root is continuing that. He's definitely breaking the number of runs record, but not the other two. But just being there as a one format player is going to help him, just how it did for a certain Stuart Broad and a James Anderson.
But Sidvija, you said that because England plays more number of test matches also, and with age not on his side, do you see him playing all the if there's a 5-match test series when he's 37, 38, do you see him playing all those test matches?
Absolutely.
And don't you think that maybe cricket would also sort of change eventually, like it is right now? Things will change. England's scheme of things will change. Maybe it fits in that, maybe it doesn't fit in that. So all of these things are really huge factors which will take in place. Right now there's a lot of buzz around his name because of the kind of form he's in. It's not been always there. This sorted that he might break it, might not break it, and to reach the record of Sachin Tendulkar, I think why it's not possible is that you need to have that peak all throughout.
Okay.
No, but those are, again, as I said, those are persuasive arguments. But none of us can really predict what might happen. So, how many votes have we got? Can you go back to the calculation?
I am outvoted very
to the calculation that we've done.
You also think that it's going to?
No, we're just going to go to the calculation. So he is voted for 2. You have voted for 0. You voted for 1, which was
runs.
For me, if again, remember, this is all conjecture. We are all predicting. Nobody can tell you. His form can drop tomorrow and he may not score even 200 runs in the entire season, or he could end up scoring 1500 runs. Nobody knows. So it's just our prediction. And why, I mean, maybe it's a recency bias, but the kind of form that I've been seeing Joe Root and the kind of cricket that he has been playing, I do not see the next 2-3 years a lull in his batting.
Yeah.
I do not see that. It could happen after he crosses 36, 37 and the downfall comes. Again, nobody can guess. There have been players who've been like as if they can walk on water, and one series all gone.
Yeah.
It's like over. It's like somebody's taken your magical power away while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
It's been that bad also. So nothing is permanent. I'm only looking at the kind of, again, I repeat it, but it may be a recency bias of the last 2-3 years that in my book he's just batting at the absolute. And you know, it's funny that I mentioned there was a debate that we had in a show that we used to have in my previous organization, a digital show we used to have, multiple people, and it was about this Fab Four debate. And you know, everyone who's the best. I was the only one who actually voted for not having Joe Root even in the Fab Four.
Yeah.
I said he should not even be in the Fab Four. He's the Ringo Starr of the Fab Four, who's there, who's not there, nobody cares. The Beatles would still be fine without him.
Yep.
That sort of a thing.
It was between Babar and people were sort of starting to say
No, that time Babar wasn't there. So I'm talking about, this is I think just before
17,
Corona,
18,
somewhere around that time. That show will still be on the. And it was I think 2020, 21, and from there on he just turns on. And ever since that day till now, or maybe it is my regret for having not even voted for him, that I'm very wary of now discounting him.
Yeah.
Because I did it once, I don't want to do it. So
that was your Khatam Tata bye bye moment.
It certainly was. And I didn't even have a comeback on that.
Yeah.
For my Khatam Tata bye bye, I still had a comeback. But for this, I didn't even have that. So with runs, I have a sneaky feeling that he goes past.
Yeah.
I think he will go past that 15, 7, 20. As much as it will pain me as a huge Sachin fan, I think that could
15,
happen.
9 to 1.
But what I want to understand for everyone who's voting in for the runs, and why don't you think that it's going to be the centuries also? Because the kind of conversion rate he has.
Because I have to get to centuries.
Okay, you haven't voted.
I thought just said for runs. Everyone voted. Like
So three have voted for runs. Three have voted, one hasn't. Yeah.
For the hundreds, my math tells me he's not, right? The math is saying 46. If he pushes to another year, he goes till about 50 or somewhere thereabout. But again, because I voted for runs, because I think he's in absolute fantastic form, and it's not a temporary form for a matter of 3 years. What that is telling me that he is a very talented next level test batter. And I was kind of 50-50 on the 100, but I have to vote. I can't say half. And so if I have to go, I'll go 52% in favor of yes.
Oh.
So I see him do that as well. For test matches, I am going the other way. I don't think that he'll have the longevity, because there could be chances that by the time he reaches 37, and if he's gone past, see the way he's averaging, and I'm assuming in my prediction that he continues to average at that level. So he goes past these records much earlier. I don't think there'll be any other motivation anyway to carry on. I don't think 200 test will be a landmark that he'll chase. For a lot of cricketers, even these may not be landmarks that they chase, by the way. But I'm saying still, that is something. So for tests, I'm saying no, he doesn't go past the 200 test record. But for the other. So how many votes have we got for runs? We've got three versus 1. For 100, we've got
2. No.
I didn't vote.
1 versus 3.
3. Yeah.
Opposite of
yes.
runs. And for test,
I voted for
2 versus 2. No, you said no.
I said no.
So 3. 3 no, 1 yes.
So so overall, if I have to look at it, most people think that Sachin will keep most records.
Yeah.
Most
because if you are going by this, only runs is where you've got the majority.
That's the main record.
But not necessary. For a lot of people, 151 hundreds is a major. But I'm saying in terms of our voting, only for runs we've had a majority.
Yeah.
3.
For everywhere else, we've not had a majority.
No.
So our combined prediction is that he goes past runs, but not hundreds in Test. That's a combined prediction based on all our votes.
Yes,
right?
yes. There is one more record though, and this involves
overall international runs.
Yes, overall international tons, 100 international centuries. Go to that slide, Pawan. Go to that one.
See, that
Now today, this is the topic that was preempted when we had preempted, but one of our family members, Austin Kuna, had a huge debate with me. He believes that Virat will break the 100.
Yeah, but I because that's another debate altogether.
Yeah, we can have
that debate. Yeah, another day.
Yeah.
If you ask me, again, without getting into the nitty, and I think for that debate also we need to come with a lot of backing of data and numbers. So we shall come back with it. But okay, you can have a vote based on just top of your head. What do you think?
I say no.
No.
I say yes.
Oh.
What about you, Shashwat?
Even I say yes.
Oh, 2-2.
Yeah, I think he'll go past. He'll get those 20 tons.
Wow. So 21. He needs 21 essentially in the next 4 years that he's going to play. He's going to play for 4 more years, definitely.
See, for that to happen, he has to have a resurgence in Test cricket. And that too, like with
500s a year, that is.
That has to
we are playing at 500s a year.
How he is 35?
Yeah, he's 35.
35.
He's going to turn 36 this year.
Yeah.
He will turn
November, he will
36.
turn. Yeah.
Assuming he plays
2027. He will
3
play.
years. 3 years.
Yeah.
So that
If you
is
say
3 years.
5 years.
So effectively, again, just breaking out the macro numbers, that is about 7 tons a year between 2 formats.
Are we seeing 3 years or 4 more years? I see
Let's
4
say
more
3. If I'm being conservative,
years.
4, so then it becomes easy for him. 5 tons a year between tests and ODIs, it's quite possible. 7 also is possible between ODIs and test matches. Yeah.
That's the
And
thing.
see, he's not going to play T20s. So
Exactly.
That's the point.
And he's going to pick and choose also.
But see, that was not helping his hundreds anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there are not a great chance
Only
of getting.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, for any player, T20 is not the format where you're going to get 100. That'll be a rare occurrence.
Or Rohit Sharma.
Yeah,
is the
so
only exception.
that will allow him his rest,
Even Rishabh Pant.
which will also allow him to play most ODI and Test matches.
Yes.
Which will
But
allow.
he'll pick and choose also.
Yeah, I know it'll be close. Depends on how many years he plays. He's fit though.
But I still feel I think he is going to chase that once he gets very close to that. Once
He will.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. That's a different topic.
No.
If somebody should or
Why
somebody
not?
should.
Whether that's everyone's prerogative, why not? But we should actually get truer numbers for that to discuss.
Yeah,
And that can be
because
another.
they are going to
another
play
debate.
lots and lots of ODIs and Tests India in this coming 3-4 years until the 2027 World Cup. So it's going to be tough for me because I think he's already reached the peak. Now he will have to be balanced out in this year. But whereas for Root, he didn't have a peak. He was a laggard. Now he's gotten the peak.
Yeah, that's sense he has gotten the peak. I think he will. So you will definitely see a dip in form.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a few comments, questions, whatever you'd like. Sharon Vinokota says, but what happens in Western culture is if form dips, the player starts to feel a burden on the team, and one fine morning, the player announces retirement all of a sudden. Example, Cook. Yes, we did. But there are also examples that we gave in England, especially that have carried on for very long.
Yeah.
But you're right. It could be anything. There are reasons which I think Shashwat also brought about in the debate. But that's the thing, no? There is no one right answer. And that's why we look at things differently. Okay, JS says Kohli will break Tendulkar's record of fastest to 14,000 runs in ODI, and Root will break most test runs and 50s, not hundreds. Okay, that's an interesting point.
It will be.
Akshat Tyagi says your prediction is successors of the Fab Four in the next decade. I will go with Manas, Brook, Gill and Green.
This is a good dugout topic actually.
Yeah, let's do another topic.
The same can.
This is a good dugout topic. We can do one of them on one of the days next week.
Oh, your friend from Canberra.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we'll have to,
Could
I
be
think,
low.
single out maybe around 10 players or so from which we'll have to.
Yeah.
It'll be a
I know it'll automatically be singled out.
Yeah.
Most of us, see, we will be there and thereabouts.
Yeah.
There will be overlaps. Because
The problem is in that Fab Four, there's only one guy who is kind of consistent in all 3 formats.
no, but that's his.
Yeah.
And
you may have Yeah.
But wouldn't you have Yashasvi in it? Yashasvi.
Could be, but
Too early.
Yashasvi
Too
hasn't-
early.
Yashasvi?
Yeah, too early.
No, I think
Gail at least has been here for about 5 years
No,
now.
but
To
again,
become a Fab Four, you need to at least get a few test hundreds
Yeah.
abroad, yaar. Come on.
See,
See,
Gail at least has been here for 5 years
कुछ तो
now.
शर्म करो यार.
That's the point.
See, the Fab Four only came into existence 5 years later.
Yeah.
When they all had made their debuts.
You are not going to nominate KL Rahul for it?
definitely.
He has test runs abroad, my friend.
Yeah.
See, I'm not sure if I'm going to
Not
pick the same
discounting
names that he has mentioned.
But we will
Maybe
see that.
a couple of them, but yeah, we'll have to think about it.
Labuschagne, I would definitely.
But a definite topic for next
Definitely.
week.
Yeah.
So what has he done? Please tell me.
No, I just.
You are saying only test cricket.
Yeah. No, not in.
Not at all.
Topic for next week. One of the topics.
Only
Topic.
test cricket. Okay.
Yeah.
Only test.
Not
yes.
all. Okay.
Sarat Chandra, Nikhil sir, I think Root may not cross Tendulkar. Simply because we are having this while he's piling on versus West Indies, Sri Lanka at home. Where were his numbers when he was in Australia, India, South Africa? So he'll face challenges.
Yeah, I think he's been the best touring batter in India
Yes.
from England.
Yeah.
100%.
In the
This
last
He
two
plays
tours.
spin
Yeah,
well. And he also plays
absolutely.
spin well.
This 2024 series was a slight blip.
Yeah.
That series, that 21 series.
That
he
double
was-
hundred.
Yeah.
series, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, a double hundred and all that sense. So Subhash Chandra
No,
Bharat.
yeah, only one argument I go against him if you get the Indian pitches.
That's not happening again.
Now,
Hopefully.
that's
Now-
why I'm not.
But you
I'm not
had a new coach after that, who has had new thought process altogether.
We'll see.
He's also changed.
But there's
He's
a comment of Priyanshu that can't compare Root with the other three. He already has played 145 test matches, which other three might not even play until retirement. So I think Joe Root will break runs record, but Tendulkar's most runs, test runs record, and Virat most ODIs, most ODIs.
See, ODIs we haven't discussed at all. It's only about the test match situation because Root is only playing tests at this point. So that's why. But yeah, 145 tests, which is why the way England play tests and the amount that they play, that's why I was tempted.
About 50 matches in next 3 years. About. Yeah.
Yep, that's the thing. Subhash Chandra Bharat is saying Root 50 average with 16k runs versus Smith 53 average with 12k runs. Who will be the better batter in this scenario?
Oh,
Smith?
it's a tough one though. It's a tough one.
No, not Smith because he scored runs everywhere.
So as Root, yeah.
Not in Australia yet.
Okay, how many
But,
innings of Root we remember and how many innings of Smiths we remember?
Yeah.
I can say this thing with utmost surety that you would remember most of Smith's innings.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a point. In case of memorable innings or the impactful innings,
See, we
you
just-
would remember Smith's, Lord's innings or that
And he's also-
double
All
hundred
his
in
300s at law.
And he
all the
also has had a
300.
gap in between.
the Pune.
That has
and the-
also been has to be
Pune.
taken in
yeah,
consideration.
in terms of impactful innings,
And he did
No,
not
but
play for a while.
Root's inning in Sri Lanka, the double hundred he got.
Yeah.
Root's
Gone.
knock in
Chennai.
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 Then Root's, his unfortunate thing is he's not done well in Australia. That's the
Yeah.
only sore sticking
he
point. for
has
him.
done well, but he hasn't got 100 rate.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But again, with Fab Four, you see that as a benchmark. Because Virat also, he did not get
Yeah.
100, but he was getting runs. But still, everybody said that he's not having a good
Oh,
time.
no. Now there is another layer. All the fans of a particular player are saying, look at the number of hundreds this guy has against certain nations. But as far as that is concerned,
Don't include TN's debate.
the TNs.
But I agree on that point that if you ask me to pick one between Smith and Root, I'm going Smith for now.
Smith,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, top of my head, yeah.
Yep.
True.
And what a technique here. What a technique.
And that now he's opening, then again down, then he did not play for a while in between also. A lot of things.
Yeah. Anshu says Nikhil sir, Smith is way ahead of Root. 10k test runs with 60 average and great record in England, Australia, everywhere. Root is yet to score century. Yeah, but we've already discussed that. We've got JS.
22 NZ is saying, what would be considered the Fab Four of the 2000s? Sachin, Ponting, Lara, and who?
Callis, I guess.
Callis.
Has to be.
I mean, that record will never be broken.
Shivnarayan Chandrapal?
No.
I think Callis will come into that. Callis very underrated as a batter and a bowler both. Outstanding player. I don't know if you've seen, there's an interview that I've done with Sachin long ago for another. He was, if you remember that interview.
Oh, yes.
In that he says, I spoke to him about something I was talking about. He only mentioned Callis. And he says, Callis is the only batter he was like, once he gets in now, he used to be like, he knows even the blade of the grass on the ground now, which side it's moving.
Yeah.
Isko wo bhi dikh raha hai. Like he's so zoned in. So he's like, that was better if you're feeling the slip and all. You're like, now he's in a zone. Now it's tough to dislodge.
No, the greatest all-rounder in this era. There will never be another one like Jacques Kallis.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, and I know people might think that it's a bold statement, but he is the joint greatest all-rounder ever alongside
Sobers.
Garfield Sobers.
Yes.
We had that whole debate of all-rounders in that 80s, 90s era, which were all four were fantastic.
Both of them, Hadley.
But not what Sir Garfield and Callis, what they did was exceptional.
Kallis in 2 formats. Yeah. Also in the third, he was very underrated, but he had impact.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers,
Oof. Next level.
incredible.
With the ball and the bat.
Like
Everywhere.
with the bat, he's almost touching what
55,
Dravid and all are doing.
yeah.
With the ball, he's touching whatever Zahir is
Zahir
doing.
is
So putting our 2 greatest players, he's doing it alone.
I know.
Can you believe that?
Zahir
And also he was way ahead of time also.
Zahir has got only 19 wickets more than Kallis.
That's what I'm saying. 2 of our greatest performers you're taking individually. He's alone matching both sides.
Kallis, yeah. What a player. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be Kallis for me. Close one would be Sangha. Wicket keeper, batter.
No, you
That
can't
was
catch
not
wicket.
in
That's
the
not a
like-
debate. You have to be a bowler.
Bowler. Sachin was the next best then amongst this Fab Four. Lara hardly bowled, Ponting hardly bowled. Sachin's got at least 5 wicket hauls in
Sachin
ODIs.
was a outstanding bowler.
Yes.
Grossly underutilized.
He was a khichdi bowler, na?
Everything. And by the way, as you know, leg spin is one of the toughest art. No
Yeah.
matter how good you are to land the ball consistently, he's not even a regular bowler, could land it at
Control is the
will
biggest
for a leg spinner.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
He could
my
do it.
first impression in 1992, I thought Tendulkar was a bowler. I thought he was one of those dibbly-dobblies. I didn't realize he was
started off like I wanted to be.
I didn't know he was a good batter.
And
Now
you know,
his son is.
he even in his with the ball, he could get that same ball to move out, move in, reverse everything.
Without a change in action.
Yeah, reverse also. Could
know.
do anything with the ball.
But I think Sachin is ambidextrous, but he can't bat or bowl left-handed, is it? Or
Yeah,
can?
he cannot.
He can.
Like, he's like me.
He only
He
writes
writes with left.
Yeah.
Left.
And
I'm
does
also
everything.
like this. I write with left and
Oh,
with right.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought he could even bowl left and also
No,
bat
no.
left also. He didn't want to do that, I thought.
No.
Wow.
Chalo, on that note,
Yep.
thank you for your company. Anything anyone wants to say about anything?
No.
Paralympics, anything?
Did we, sir?
Paralympics, man. Four medals.
Alcaraz got knocked out here
Knocked out.
today.
What a morning.
Second round.
What a shocker of a morning.
I know. But I think it was fatigue. Fatigue.
He said
and-
No, he was just not in it.
I know.
That guy was like,
Botic van der Zandschulp.
I hadn't even heard of his name. The Dutch guy.
That guy. Botic van der Zandschulp.
Alcaraz is the defending US Open champion
No, he won in 22, no?
at 22.
Yeah.
But he's the current Wimbledon and French Open champion.
Yes.
And played the Olympic finals.
Yeah.
And got knocked out second round.
Second round. And I think
He's lost basically 3 of his last 4 matches.
Yeah.
If that was an Olympic final, he's lost. Yeah.
Nah,
That's a,
Cincinnati Masters also, no? He got
Yeah, but
knocked out in
that's-
the
yeah,
second,
but you're-
second
No, I
round.
think I mentioned 2 factors. I think adjustment to 3 different surfaces in 1 month.
format test
Yeah.
ODI.
I know. That is one. And second, I think that ankle injury really played.
But how does Joko do it now? He's coming from clay now. He's come to hard court US.
That's why Joko.
But we'll
Here.
see if he can. It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be because he's, I think, facing Alexei Popyrin, if I'm not mistaken.
Tonight, tomorrow morning, in fact.
4:30 a.m.
4:30
and I'll have to keep an eye on that because okay, if Djokovic gets knocked out, wow,
No, he had some issues. He got
humidity.
treatment,
He
yeah,
was
and got
struggling.
treatment.
Yeah. So I think, but his opponent also got it. He retired. Djokovic managed.
I was watching a video randomly. This Paris Olympics, some YouTuber was doing it. So he went to the Serbian house, like the other India also. So he asked one person, who's the greatest ever Serbian Olympian? He said Novak Djokovic. He said, you can't count him as an Olympian. He's like this. No, he's an Olympian. He's one Olympian. He is the greatest. He argued. He said, no, he's an Olympian. He is, of course.
He is,
but
he
I'm
is.
saying that you think of And
I know. Like a Carl Lewis or
like
those
an
kind of
Olympian,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
You will not you wouldn't call like Michael Jordan an Olympian, though he's been there, but
Yeah, LeBron James having
like
the
you're
Olympic
not
medal.
like supposing the Indian cricket team goes, they will go, and let's say they win also, and let's say Virat is playing, you won't call him the greatest Indian Olympian, right? Even though he would have played in the Olympics and won a medal or whatever.
I know.
It's
But
just that-
Djokovic's been there for 4 Olympics, so that's why.
Yeah, but I just don't.
I think that was the only gold Serbia won in the Olympics. I don't think in athletics or any other thing they managed.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Paralympics, what a day, 4 medals. And to
Green
think it took us
shooting.
10 days in the summer condition to get to 4. We won already, the
And
set
didn't
is
win a
complete.
medal in
Gold,
8
silver,
days.
bronze, we won.
Yes.
And 3 from shooting, 1 in the 100 meter F35 event.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fantastic. It was a Chinese 1-2, but we could have had a 1-2 in 10 meter air rifle.
Avani.
Avani.
Anything else?
Nothing.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you. Weekend is upon us.